This is a Heart and Hand production.
Hello everyone, my name's David Edgar, I'm the host of Heart and Hand, the Rangers podcast, and I'm joining you tonight in a lot happier mood after Rangers defeated Hibs by 2-0 to move through to the semi-finals of the Premier Sports League Cup. It was a day that could have been very, very difficult indeed, because it was a surreal atmosphere at the start. There were protests outside the ground before the game started, in which fans called for the removal of Russell Martin and CEO Patrick Stewart, and there were protests continuing in the ground as well during the first half, including golf balls being thrown onto the park early to force a stoppage. There were banners, etc. as well in the Union Bears section that were applauded in the ground. So it was going to be it wasn't going to be a run-of-the-mill match, and that's understandable given Rangers' form. And the big news was the return to the side of Nico Raskan after his much publicised troubles with the manager so far this season. Well, whatever had happened, he was back in the team and he was absolutely terrific. The heartbeat of a better Rangers performance. Wasn't perfect by any manner of means, and in fact Rangers were fortunate in the first half to survive a scare. A handball after everything that happened last week with Lawrence Shankland. This time it was Martin Boyle getting on the end, but he used a hand to control it in the build-up and the goal was ruled out. And Hibs also made another couple of chances in the first half. Boyles missed a header that he should have scored, and they had won a shot over the bar after he'd rounded the keeper, but it was Rangers who took the lead and it had to be him, and it was Nico Raskan. Corner in from the left hand side. You've seen him score this goal a few times where he times his run perfectly, gets the flick header on, unsavable, 1-0, and Rangers capitalised on that immediately by getting the second, and it was a debut goal, well, a first goal, it's not his debut, for Bojan Miovski. Right place, right time, striker's instinct. He was there to fire home after Mikey Moore's shot was blocked. Into the second half, and Rangers were a lot better than Hibs. Hibs did not force a save from Jack Butland in the second half. They didn't threaten, Rangers didn't let them, and Rangers could have scored a few more ourselves. Jaidi Gassama, who was excellent, hit the bar with a curling effort, which would have been a fantastic goal. We had one cleared off the line. Yusuf Chermiti has forced a good save out the keeper at the end, probably should have scored, and Oliver Antman nearly scored a wonder goal where he just waltzed through the Hibs defence and shot just by the post. Mikey Moore also had a shot that nestled just past the post. If it had ended 3 or 4, Hibs could have no complaints. Rangers were the better side today and deserved to go through into the next round. In the press conference afterwards, the manager spoke about hoping that it gives Rangers something now, to a bit of confidence into the side. He said he thought you could see in the second half, after the goals, the team playing with confidence more how he wants it to look, and he said that he'd had a week of training with them, of course starting with that trip to Loch Lomond for a wild swimming, as I believe it's called. And yeah, Rangers were a lot better today. We now have Genk in 3 days. We'll need to show more because they're a good side and it's a step up in competition, but it is something to at least, I think, provide Russell Martin with some relief. He's not going to be fired now. I think that's fair to say, because Rangers don't want to fire him. They're not looking for reasons to fire him. They're looking for reasons not to, and he's provided one today. But I don't think it'll have changed the minds of the support. And certainly I'm not going to sit here and say I was totally wrong. I still think that long term I haven't seen enough evidence to suggest that he's going to be the right man for Rangers. But all he could do was get a victory today. It was important because it is the Cup. It's a chance to win a trophy. And hopefully, who knows, it might end up being the start of the turnaround. I certainly do hope it is, because as I say, I'm fed up leaving here, going home with a black cloud over me, and then spend the next 2 days angry, depressed and upset because of Rangers' performances. So tonight, we'll analyse it in a lot more detail on Monday on our flagship show, but tonight I'm going to go home, I'm going to have a bath because it's freezing, I'm going to have a Chinese, I'm going to watch Match of the Day, and then I'm going to watch the highlights of this game, and I'm going to enjoy it. Thanks very much for joining me. I'll speak to you again soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.